Hey, welcome to a new video. In the lush forest covering our planet, an overwhelming beauty spreads over approximately 4 billion hectares. The vast areas are steeped in mysteries and provide a refuge for a diverse range of plants and animals. However, strange things are sometimes found in the forest.
Are you new to this channel? Make sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell. And before we start, also like the video. These are perhaps one of the clearest, most legitimate Bigfoot shots ever taken. It's even in daylight, which makes it a lot more believable. It was supposedly filmed near Crescent Falls, Alberta, in Canada, and a strange hiding place was found in the woods made of branches. When this person returned after installing the camera, he saw a creature investigating its hiding place. In addition, a tree had also broken off. The video footage of the tall ape-like creature hiding makes many people think. Indeed, it fits the description of a Bigfoot, as the creature is hairy and is said to be more than 7 foot 9 inches or 2.4 meters tall. Imagine walking in the Amazon and you see an animal among the trees, and suddenly it starts staring at you with a bright red face. The bald uakari is a South American primate species. It's known for its bright red face and bald head. You only find them in the Amazon basin, where they move quickly between trees without using their arms and legs. Like other monkeys, they live in groups of up to 100. Researchers believe the brighter their faces, the more attractive they are to potential mates.
The largest known snake species today by science is the green anaconda, found in the Amazon rainforest and other parts of South America. Green anacondas are among the heaviest snakes in the world, with the largest individuals reaching lengths of approximately 20 feet to 30 feet, or 6 to 9 meters. As for ancient snakes, the titanoboa is known as the largest snake to have ever lived. It existed about 60 million years ago, during the Paleocene epoch, and was discovered in the Quetejón coal mine in Colombia. Estimates based on the fossil remains suggest that the titanoboa could reach lengths of up to 30 to 50 feet, or 12 to 15 meters, and weigh over a ton. However, legends and folklore about giant snakes are common in various cultures around the world, including the Congo region. Colonel Remy van Lierde was a Belgian pilot who gained notoriety for his alleged sightings of an extraordinarily large snake in the Congo region during his service in the 1950s. According to his account, he saw a massive 200-foot or 60-meter-long snake in the dense Congo jungle during a helicopter flight. This description would make it one of the largest snakes ever reported, although it's important to note that this claim was never scientifically confirmed. Living on the edge of the woods brings with it an inherent sense of unease, never quite knowing if unseen eyes are watching from the shadows of the trees. A video shared on TikTok captures this unsettling feeling. In the recording, we hear a child urgently urging someone to get their parents while the dogs in the backyard bark incessantly. As they anxiously await their father's arrival, the child keeps the camera focused on the backyard, ready to capture any unusual events. At first, it's difficult to discern anything out of the ordinary. However, a close-up shot reveals the presence of a hairy, two-legged creature moving among the trees. In a fleeting moment, the figure disappeared behind a ridge, shrouded in mystery. The creature continues to navigate through the wooded terrain, seemingly unaware that it's being observed. Could this mysterious creature truly be the legendary Bigfoot?
It's almost midnight, and we see something evil lurking in the dark. But what we see next is something that almost makes your heart stop. A pair of eyes glowing in the dark, staring into your soul. You can't imagine anything but the face attached to these luminous eyes. Judging by the height of the eyes, the creature could be disturbingly tall. I don't think any of us would like to encounter this thing in the forest. Which is scarier, the possibility that witches live in Papua New Guinea? Or the so-called witch hunts going on there? As it happens, in many areas of Papua New Guinea, there's still a belief that witches and black magic are real. If something goes wrong in their lives, they're quick to blame magic, and usually women and children who practice it. Some men are accused of sorcery, but they are almost always widows. It only takes one villager pointing an accusing finger at you, and you are the subject of a witch hunt. Each year, there's an estimated 200 of these witch hunts, but the number could be much higher. Interviews with local activists have cited numbers up to 50,000, describing how many people have been driven from their homes and villages because of the accusations.
In 1987, an unusual photograph came into the hands of a well-known ufologist from Guatemala. The photo showed a huge stone head apparently hidden in the jungle of Guatemala. The unusual thing about this stone statue is its white appearance. In fact, the appearance was unusual for civilizations that lived here. It's very strange because it would mean that locals were seeking contact with outsiders, which was historically not possible.
The Aokigahara, also called the Suicide Forest, is an infamous place in Japan where bodies are regularly found. The forest is located on the edge of Mount Fuji, about a 2-hour drive from Tokyo. Many horror movies that have been made were inspired by this forest. Many people who went into the forest had decided in advance they will not return. Aside from the forest's reputation, there are also an awful lot of trees, making it difficult to walk through it at times. In some cases, the trees are so close together that the wind can't blow through them. It would also be a very easy place to get lost, so you should know your way back. In addition, it's said that cell phones and GPS systems frequently fail. And of course, we can't forget the stories about ghosts, so it's not really recommended to visit the forest. The Nazis were everywhere during World War II, but researchers were very surprised when they found their base in the Argentina jungle. It's thought that Hitler and his wife Eva escaped through a secret tunnel and ended up somewhere in Argentina. Archaeologists also recently found buildings near this base and thought that Hitler may have been hiding here. However, there's no evidence for this claim, so many people think it's just a myth. The zombie fungus is a fungus that mainly infects ants. There's an incubation period, during which the ants behave normally before the transformation occurs. The infection forces the ant to leave its nest, burrow into a more humid environment, and wait until it's starved. Meanwhile, the fungus eats it from the inside before it moves to another ant. A trail camera in the forest in Alabama captured an image of a long, hairy feet with wolf-like claws. The exact location of where this was seen is unclear, but it's caused much speculation about what this beast could be. According to the story, the camera was immediately destroyed, which only added to the creepy atmosphere of the incident. The owner of the property also reported losing 5 pet goats in the past 2 weeks. It has people wondering what creature could be responsible for such brutality and violence. Another similar incident is even more disturbing and may be related to the creature with the wolf-like claws. A person captured on camera what he claims to be a lizard man, somewhere in Bishopville, South Carolina. This creature has remained elusive, but the thought of it alone is chilling. He also claims that this large creature was covered in spines and had been watching him for a while. You could almost think this was straight out of a horror movie, but according to the description of the video, this happened in real life.
Mbilu is a legendary creature or cryptid believed to inhabit the Congo River Basin in Central Africa. The name Mbilu translates to animal with planks growing out of its back. It's described as a large reptilian or dinosaur-like creature with a long neck and a series of protruding plank-like structures on its back. Reports and sightings of this creature are scarce and primarily based on local folklore and indigenous accounts. It's said to be extremely elusive and is believed to reside in remote and inaccessible parts of the Congo River and the surrounding rainforests. The local population often describes it as a shy or timid creature that quickly submerges or hides when approached by humans. Among all these mysterious and largely undiscovered creatures, this one is undoubtedly one of the most intriguing. If you could bring back one dinosaur-like creature, which one would you choose? Let me know in the comments. This photo, believed by many to depict the legendary Mothman, was taken in the middle of the MWMA outside Point Pleasant. The MWMA is a wildlife area consisting of forests and other natural habitats, where various plant and animal species are protected. The Mothman story, originating from Point Pleasant, West Virginia in the 1960s, describes the creature as a black being about 10 feet tall, with wings and glowing red eyes. The first reported sightings of Mothman occurred in November 1966, when 2 young couples claimed to have seen a large black creature near the TNT area. The Mothman sightings in Point Pleasant garnered attention and were associated with the collapse of the Silver Bridge that occurred on December 15, 1967. Some people believe that the Mothman sightings were a warning of the impending disaster. Although the legend of Mothman has waned in recent years, sightings still occur occasionally, such as this photo taken in the MWMA wildlife area. Imagine if one day you're walking quietly through the forest, and at some point you come across these skeletons. I think you would be shocked for a moment, especially if it was at night. But don't worry, these skeletons belong to some kind of art gallery in the middle of a forest near Essex in the English town of Bellacray. There's also a blue statue over a hovering woman holding an umbrella and a bunch of extraterrestrials lying in a circle. This park's even been turned into a festival. The Hanley Festival, as it's called, is held every year and attracts an audience of over 30,000 people. Sculptors and artists from all over the world come here, and if you like to dress up, this might be something for you. Is a zombie apocalypse high on your list of concerns, or do you believe it'll never happen?
Maybe we should sound the alarm after seeing this next picture. Apparently, reality is much scarier than anything fiction could ever imagine. In fact, a camera caught something that looks 100% like a zombie. By the way, this is not the first time a zombie was captured on camera. Another photo shows what looks like a zombie child with creepy glowing eyes in the dark.
The Doll Island, also known as Isla de las Muñecas, is a place that will give you chills. It's an island located on the Xochimilco canals near Mexico City, where trees are decorated with hundreds of decaying dolls. The island is home to a legend dating back to the 1950s, when a young girl drowned in the canal near the island. Supposedly, a man named Julian Santana Barrera hung the dolls to appease her spirit, as he was haunted by her. The dolls hanging everywhere on the island are said to be possessed. The island is truly frightening and an eerie place, unlike anywhere else in the world. Additionally, it's become a popular tourist destination, attracting visitors from all over the world. But beware, the dolls are said to be cursed, and touching them or even taking them off the island can invite misfortune into your life. Tourists who have visited the island claim to have been followed by the eyes of the dolls and heard whispers in their ears.
The Congo River, located in the DRC, is considered one of the deepest rivers in the world. It stretches approximately 2,500 miles, or 4,023 kilometers, through the equatorial basin of Africa, traversing dense jungles and ultimately flowing into the Atlantic Ocean. The lower reaches of the Congo River, particularly the Congo Central Province, has been the subject of research by ichthyologists studying the river's fish diversity. The region features treacherous currents and reaches depths of over 700 feet, or 213 meters. One of the intriguing discoveries in the lower Congo River is the presence of blind and pale fish with unusual characteristics. These fish, such as the species locally known as Mondele buru or white man in an office, are small, eyeless, and exhibit adaptations resembling those of cave-dwelling fish. The lower Congo rivers contain deep gorges that require specialized equipment for exploration. These gorges reach tremendous depths, similar to the twilight zone of the ocean, and they also feature powerful currents that create vortex-like waterfalls along the gorge walls. The exact origin of the unique fish species found in the lower Congo River, however, remains a mystery. In a forest outside the city of Zavidovici in Bosnia, a controversial archaeologist named Samir Osmanagic discovered a gigantic stone sphere. The sphere is impressively large, with a diameter of about 4 to 5 feet and a high iron content. Initially, only a portion of it was visible, but Samir and his colleagues have since uncovered more of it. He believes that the stone sphere could be the oldest made by humans, over 1,500 years ago. It's worth noting that similar stone spheres have also been found in other parts of the world. For example, in Costa Rica, handcrafted stone spheres made from a rock called gabbros were discovered. These Costa Rican spheres were thought to have been made between 600 and 1000 AD. The stone sphere found in Bosnia is about twice the size of the Costa Rican spheres, while a handful of smaller spherical stones have been found in Bosnia before. The origin of these stones remains a mystery. Some believe it's evidence of an advanced lost civilization, while others argue it's a natural formation.
The Petrified Forest National Park in Arizona is known for its petrified trees that have remained the same for centuries. But that's not the only thing it's famous for. Many people claim that if you take a twig or pebble from the forest, you will be cursed for life. The forest was declared a national monument in December 1906, and then it was also forbidden to take things from the forest. Those who were caught had to pay a substantial fine, but as you can guess, some visitors ignored this and took several things from the forest. In the year 1930, people came forward claiming that after taking things from the forest, they had tremendous bad luck in their lives. The national park also received numerous letters and got stolen things back from the visitors who desperately wished that this could undo their misfortune.
Have you ever heard of the chupacabra? It's a monstrous, beastly creature that originated in Latin American legends. It's said to attack ferociously and feast on animals' blood. Farmers caught a glimpse of a strange red-eyed creature before discovering their sheep had been eaten. In present-day Louisiana, a few miles or kilometers from Lake Toledo Bend, this photo was taken. Some people believe it was a hyena, while others say this is a legendary chupacabra. Lord Hanuman is a Hindu god, and his giant footprints are thought to have been found in Andhra Pradesh, Thailand, Sri Lanka, and Malaysia. This would possibly be the greatest evidence that giants once lived on Earth. Recently, the lost city of giants was also found in the jungle of Ecuador. a 250-foot or 66-meter-high structure made of hundreds of 2-ton blocks was discovered there, and it's thought that more remains of the giant city can be found. If you thought stick insects were already masters of their art, you haven't been to the Amazon to see what the leaf mimic katydid does. Not only do they perfectly mimic leaves, but they even have holes in their bodies that look like torn leaves that are actually just spots of translucent membranes. This led scientists to believe that they had discovered different species while studying the same one. A recent discovery of 20,000-year-old UFO wreckage in British Columbia, Canada has left archaeologists frightened. They discovered the remains of an extraterrestrial vehicle dating back to the last ice age. According to the article, it suggested that a UFO had crashed on Earth. The strange thing about this story is that other sources claim that it didn't happen in Canada, but in Russia. High-ranking KGB officials are said to have found the UFO and covered up the story. However, it's clear that the wreckage contains metals that are not of this world. Experts therefore conclude that it may indeed be of extraterrestrial origin. Interestingly, there is speculation that the UFO may be connected to ancient legends of extraterrestrial contacts. In Native American folklore, there are stories of star people, beings with advanced technological abilities who left behind mysterious artifacts. Could this discovery be evidence that these stories were always true? Unfortunately, the discovery of the 20,000-year-old UFO wreckage raises more questions than answers.
Mokele Mbembe is a cryptid believed to inhabit the swamps of the Congo River Basin in Central Africa. The name Mokele Mbembe translates to the one who stops the flow of rivers, in the Lingala language spoken in the region. Sightings of this creature date back to the early 20th century, when Western explorers first encountered reports from local tribes. It's said to be herbivorous and semi-aquatic, spending most of its time in rivers and swamps. It's often described with a long neck, a body resembling that of a sauropod dinosaur, and a small head. Some reports also mention the presence of a long tail. One of the most famous alleged pieces of evidence for the existence of this creature is the discovery of several large footprints in the region. These footprints are often described as circular or oval in shape and attributed to the creature. As seen in the video, two people are at work, and there is a huge red oak log that, according to them, has been there for about 20 years. They were not only gathering firewood because it was exceptionally dry, but they were also tired of something or someone lurking behind it and looking towards their house. However, something nearby seemed clearly unhappy about the log being cut.
Did you
Sound
hear
like
that?
you're screaming at me, yeah.
When they heard the angry growls, and it seemed initially distant, but before he ran to the camera, the sound was closer. However, he couldn't determine if it was because of the camera or if the figure with the mysterious screams saw him. There's said to be a hunting technique where predators trick their prey into thinking their cries are moving away, while they remain hidden behind a nearby tree. When the cries sounded, the birds abruptly stopped chirping, as if afraid of something only they could hear.
The following photo was taken from a forest near a nearby train track in Auckland, New Zealand. The context, however, will give you chills. The photo was taken by two children who were in the process of making a documentary for a school project, when suddenly two mysterious figures appeared behind them. Both figures wore white masks and looked like they were straight out of a horror movie. The creepy part about the situation is that the masked figures kept staring at them from the other side of the train tracks for quite a while. Fortunately for them, the children escaped unharmed. But the question is, what were these people doing in the forest, and why did they decide to stare at them? What do you think?
The Grim Reaper is a mythical creature known for taking away your soul and guiding you to the afterlife. Someone had also captured the Grim Reaper on a trail camera somewhere in a forest. Pretty scary, but unfortunately, not much more information is available about this photo.
It's no secret that the Amazon is full of giant snakes. However, many people believe that a giant monster still lurks here. An explorer, Percy H. Fawcett, claimed to have encountered a giant anaconda in the 19th century that was about 40 feet or 12 meters long, and at least 12 inches or 30 centimeters in diameter. Even though there's no hard evidence for it, people still tend to believe him. As you can see in the following video, something strange is going on here. In fact, it looks like the entire forest can breathe. I also wouldn't blame you if you would run away after seeing this. But don't worry, the forest may be breathing in and out, but experts say this is because of some kind of wind effect. The wind is actually trying to push the trees down, and as a result, when the roots feel these effects, the ground seems to move. If you're curious about where this forest is located, then you should travel to Sacré-Cœur in Quebec, Canada. When people first saw this, they thought it might be a forest spirit. But now that there's a scientific explanation for it, it must be pretty cool to see breathing forests in real life. A pink dolphin? I can see you thinking. But yes, the Amazon really has everything, and pink dolphins are 100% real. According to researchers, they are 9 feet or 2.7 meters in length and have unusual long beaks, oddly shaped foreheads, and pink skin color. But their existence is shrouded in mythology. According to Amazonian belief, pink river dolphins, called botos, can take the shape of a human to seduce women. The myth also tells that if you make eye contact with this animal, you will become cursed and have nightmares for the rest of your life. Are you ready to step into a world of mystery? Look no further than the Dao Hill Forest in India, where ghosts roam free. Located at the foot of the Himalayas, the forest is known for its eerie silence, abandoned houses, and unexplained deaths. It's said that those who enter the forest never return, making it the ultimate destination for thrill seekers and ghost hunters. The forest also houses several abandoned schools that are considered spooky, including the Dao Hill Girls' School and Victoria Boys High School. The schools are shrouded in a dark history of unexplained deaths, with some students dying under mysterious circumstances. The most chilling part of the story is that some locals claim to have seen apparitions of headless boys and women dressed in white walking through the forest. Many people believe that the ghosts are angry at the abuse of the forest, which has been exposed to illegal logging and deforestation. It's believed that disturbing the natural balance of the forest has angered the ghosts, leading to an increase in ghost sightings. The Indian government has warned tourists and advised them to stay away from the abandoned schools and not to go too far into the forest.
The term blood diamonds refers to diamonds mined in war zones or conflict areas and used to finance armed conflicts against governments. Unfortunately, Congo is often associated with the issue of blood diamonds. These blood diamonds primarily pertain to diamonds mined in areas controlled by rebel groups or militias during a period of intense conflicts in the late 1990s and early 2000s. This conflict, often referred to as the Second Congo War or the Great War of Africa, involved multiple armed groups. During this time, rebel groups in the DRC, as well as foreign armed forces, seized control of diamond mines and used the proceeds from the sale of diamonds to finance their military activities. The profits from these conflict diamonds were used to purchase weapons, sustain their troops, and perpetuate the conflict. This had devastating consequences for the population of the country due to the trade in blood diamonds. Mining operations were often characterized by forced labor, human rights abuses, and environmental pollution. Furthermore, the proceeds from the sale of these diamonds led to the continuation of the conflict, resulting in the loss of millions of lives and the displacement of countless people. Did you know that there was an intriguing incident where the police reportedly took photos of an alien? This occurred on September 12, 2017, involving the Corrientes police in Argentina. A group of police officers responded to a report from a group of youths claiming to have observed strange behavior from an individual in a park. When the police arrived and attempted to make contact with the person, they quickly realized that the subject was no ordinary individual. Instead, they found a being resembling an alien, and the police officers decided to document the event by taking photos with their mobile phones. The resulting photo was said to be of good quality, allowing for a clear view of the humanoid details. The creature appeared as a two-legged being without distinct clothing, with striking eyes reminiscent of tall gray extraterrestrial beings, and a well-developed muscular structure. This suggests that the creature may have been living on our planet for some time, allowing it to adapt physically to our gravity. Renowned conspiracy theorist Terry Larch even went so far as to declare that this astonishing photo could be the most convincing evidence to date of extraterrestrial beings living among us. In October of 2016, a man named James Rankling walked through a forest in New York when he came across several flyers attached to the trees. James said it's a remote spot in the forest where not many people come. As he explored the place further, he came across a tent with open cans of food, and there were even tools, including a shovel, which made it very creepy. Because James was worried, he called in the police to investigate.
A few days later, they were told that the flyer was meant for a Halloween party. But according to James, it looked like the flyers had been there for months, and not recently. But whether this is the case or not, it remains very strange that someone wanted to hold a party in a remote spot in the woods with decorations of flyers that apparently belonged to real people.
A camera captured what appears to be a woman dressed in a white dress. According to the story, the photo was supposedly taken on the grounds of Uncanny Valley in Liberty, Texas. Frankly, it also gives a disturbing feeling as if the woman is not quite human. The story also tells that the photo was taken not far from an old slave cemetery that was destroyed decades ago, when someone removed the headstones and buried them somewhere else. In this case, this might be a lost spirit.
We talked about dinosaur sightings before, but what about a pterosaur? It's believed that this creature could still be flying through the forests of Papua New Guinea. Locals call the animal the ropes, or duwas, and it is said its appearance is creepy. For several years, several sightings of living pterosaurs are said to have been seen. Several reportings tell that the animal has a wingspan of nearly 30 feet, or 9 meters wide, with bat-like wings. The living fossil is said to have a head crest and a dermal hump with razor-sharp teeth and claws. However, there is one specific place where it has been seen, off the mainland coast. The pterosaur is thought to emerge only at night. Not only that, but it's said to give off a bioluminescent glow.
If you think ancient civilizations didn't decorate their backyards, you're wrong. These strange artifacts were found in Costa Rica, but the stone spheres are more mysterious than we first thought. In fact, these artifacts are said to have greater meaning, but no one knows their true purpose.
The next picture is said to be one of the scariest pictures ever taken in a forest. It's said to have been taken by a camera placed on a branch of a tree in a remote forest. The location of the forest is unknown, but it's said to be kilometers away from the nearest town. Also, there is said to be only one house in the area. In the picture, we can see that it's not an animal, but what could it be? Some people think it's a ghost, while others say it's a human lost in the woods. But this is very strange, because why would a person wear a robe in the middle of the night in the forest? Some people suggest that the time when the picture was taken could be the witching hour. This is the hour when it's believed that spirits and demons are at their most powerful. What kind of figure do you think this is?
The assassin bug is an insect that loves to suck other insects' bodies and spray venom at them. They're also known as kissing bugs, as they prefer to bite people's lips in their sleep. Their bite not only leaves you with an ugly wound, but they can also transmit the cruel Chagas disease. The discovery of megalithic structures in the western Amazon region in 2016 led archaeologists to believe that they have found the Brazilian Stonehenge. The discovery was made through satellite images that showed several groups of megaliths arranged in a circular formation. Researchers who discovered the site decided to call it the Amazon Stonehenge. The discovery of megaliths is significant because many people believe that the Amazon region, despite hosting millions of people, was largely ignored in prehistory. Yet, the discovery suggests that the Amazon region was likely a center of complex societies that could create such massive structures. The megaliths appear to have been made about 2,000 years ago and cover about 1,000 hectares of land, indicating the existence of a large settlement. The site also has geometric designs within the stones that resemble constellations, indicating a possible use for spiritual ceremonies. In 2005, a local resident named River Wolf from Santa Cruz, California, came across a white gravestone in the woods. He didn't really think much of it at first and decided to walk on. 7 years later, he found the same gravestone and decided to examine it. He finally found out that it belonged to a woman named Mary Holmes, who died of tuberculosis in the year of 1898 at the age of 21. At that time, many gravestones were stolen because they had great value. The mysterious part of the story is that the gravestone was taken to the woods for unknown reasons, and thus was never found again until 100 years later.
Kongomodo is a fascinating creature from African folklore, described in local legends and reports as a flying pterosaur. The name Kongomodo translates to breaker boats in the local language, referring to its reputation for attacking canoes and boats. Sightings of this creature have been reported in swamps in western Zambia, as well as neighboring regions in Angola and Congo. The creature is reported to have a wingspan of approximately 7 feet or 2 meters, and is often described with leathery wings, a long beak filled with sharp teeth, and a crest on its head. The Kagamoto is known for its aggressive behavior, with numerous reports suggesting it would swoop down and attack people and animals. There's also been reports of people being scratched or bitten by the creature, and some local residents attribute disappearances of individuals or even livestock to its activities. Interestingly, the descriptions of this creature bear similarities to pterosaurs, flying reptiles that coexisted with dinosaurs during the Mesozoic era. Pterosaurs had unique adaptations for flight, such as membranous wings and a lightweight skeleton. Nestled within the garden of Bomarzo lies the Park of the Monsters, known as Parco dei Mostri, located in the Lazio region, Italy. This unique park, commissioned in 1552 by Prince Pier Francesco Orsini, was not intended as a conventional display of beauty. Instead, it was a profound expression of grief, designed to shock and provoke contemplation. Prince Pier Francesco Orsini, also known as Vicino, had endured the hardships of a brutal war, the loss of a dear friend, years of captivity, and the devastating death of his beloved wife. Overwhelmed by grief, he sought solace in creating a remarkable villa of wonders. To bring his vision to life, he enlisted the expertise of architect Piero Ligorio. Piero, famous for his architectural and artistic skills, had previously completed remarkable projects such as the Basilica of St. Peter's in Rome, following Michelangelo's death. Among these intriguing pieces, you'll find a war elephant, a monstrous fish head, a colossal figure tearing apart another giant, and a house built on a slope. But the most eerie sculpture in the garden is a massive head, with its mouth wide open in an eternal scream. In 1962, a lumberjack named David McPherson and his friend found a white box near Luther's Mountain, a village in Canada. The object weighed 180 kilograms and hung with a parachute on a tree. Inside the box were 2 cameras, and after the find appeared in the news, it was quickly confiscated by the CIA. McPherson's son said it irritated his father because he couldn't figure out what it had been. People in the village wanted answers, but the government came out with an official message that it was just a weather balloon. People didn't believe this, and it remained a big mystery for 55 years, until in 2017, documents were released under the name Project Jantrix, stating that the white box was a secret project used to spy on China and Russia. However, it never became clear what was on the camera, and it makes you think, because maybe we're always being watched.
Stories about the Jersey Devil have circulated for more than 250 years. In 1938, the New Jersey Devil was named the only state devil in the country. According to myth, the Jersey Devil has the face of a horse, the head of a dog, the wings of a bat, a tail, horns, and the appearance of a kangaroo. He reportedly roams the swamps of southern New Jersey. Could this be him in this photo?
It's one thing to discover a piece of history, and quite another to find a completely untouched World War II battlefield. After years of getting to know the locals, an Australian man managed to find a sort of living museum. He found this battlefield near the famous Kokata Trail in the jungles of Papua New Guinea. A narrow path led him to the Aurora Creek area, and a 4-day battle took place here in 1942. Imagine how creepy it must have been, knowing that you're standing in a place where hundreds of soldiers fought. Since news of the discovery of the battlefield was spread, not only have some questions of the history been answered, but the final resting place of the fallen soldiers has also become known. The lost battlefield of Aurora Creek is also considered one of the most important World War II discoveries in the 21st century.
It may look like an edited photo, but Antti-Lentinen's shows us a secret portal reportedly found in the southern Estonia. It's hard to say exactly where this portal might lead you, but it looks like it's a way into a completely different world. Where do you think you'll end up if you decide to go through this portal? The kangaroo is a parasitic fish that swims around in the Amazon. Everyone should watch out for this fish because it's scarier than a school of 20 piranhas. The kangaroo is known to invade all sorts of holes in your body. Most of their victims are men swimming in the water in their swim trunks. Amid a group of young people enjoying a campfire deep in the woods, 2 girls were shocked when they saw something moving behind a tree. It took them a while to realize what they were seeing, a small alien creature. As terrifying as it seemed at first, these 2 girls couldn't resist their curiosity and decided to take a closer look at the creature. To their amazement, it seemed just as curious about them as they were about it. But what was this creature doing in the woods? Was it lost or trying to blend in with nature? As they tried to get closer with the light from their flashlights, the creature retreated behind the tree and disappeared. The possibilities of encounters with extraterrestrial beings and UFO sightings has long fascinated people, and this experience has only added fuel to that fire. The woods, with its dark shadows and mysterious sounds, is of course a perfect place for an alien to hide. In the woods of the town of Middlebury in the US state of Connecticut, there's a creepy place called the Little People's Village. It's a place where many houses are situated in an area with a stone house in ruins. According to various stories, these are said to have been there for decades or even longer. It's said that witches lived in the village, who had seen little fairies in the forest and built houses for them. Another story says that a man lived in the stone house who heard voices of little people who made him build the houses. Other people think that maybe the houses belong to an old amusement park. What do you think?
This next mystery from Congo revolves around the mysterious appearance and disappearance of a giant silver monolith. But you might be wondering, how exactly do you make a monolith vanish at will? The silver monolith in question is a mysterious metal structure that appeared in Kinshasa, the capital of the DRC. The monolith, standing at 12 feet or 3.7 meters tall, suddenly appeared on a roundabout in the Bandel district of the city. It caught the attention of curious onlookers who debated its origin and took selfies with it. However, a few days after its appearance, the monolith was set on fire by local residents. Videos posted on social media showed people vandalizing the structure with sticks before setting it ablaze. Similar monoliths have been discovered in other parts of the world, including the United States, Romania, and Turkey. Since then, conspiracy theories have arisen, comparing the monoliths to the monoliths from the film 2001: A Space Odyssey. A video featuring mysterious cries echoing from the forests of northern Ontario has garnered attention, with some speculating it might have a supernatural origin. Gino Mikis, a hunter living near Sioux Lookout, northern Ontario, captured the chilling footage on October 3rd while hunting grouse with his wife and grandson, about 30 miles from town. They said they were walking down a trail to see if they could find a bird. On their way back to the car, they began to hear strange sounds resembling screams. When it let out the first scream, they initially thought it was an elk, but as the eerie cries continued repeatedly, they became more panicked. According to Gino, the sound, resembling a loud and echoing howl, lasted for about 5 minutes. Interestingly, similar strange sounds were reported by residents of Alert Bay, BC. Some individuals speculated that the howling might have come from a Sasquatch, as there were no other large mammals on the island to produce the sound. The history of World War II is extensively documented and researched, but the field of archaeology has only recently begun to receive formal attention. These landscapes harbor a wealth of bomb craters, trenches, and remnants of supply depots, which have largely remained untapped until now. In an attempt to shed light on this area, a formal archaeological survey was conducted on significant World War II battlefields from June 1944 to February 1945. The archaeologists focused meticulously on regions in the Netherlands. Researchers explored historically significant grounds using academic studies, internet searches, and guides during fieldwalks. During their investigations, the team discovered compelling evidence of bomb craters, foxholes, trenches, and even German logistical depots. They were able to illuminate wartime diaries, provide battlefield reports, and offer more accurate understanding of the locations and strategies used during the war. Have you ever found something scary in the woods? Let me know in the comments. If you liked the video, give it a thumbs up. If you want to see more videos we've made, click one on the screen or take a look at the channel. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.